Thailand, a country of 69 million people, is full of endless good things. It always has a weak side that tarnishes its reputation. Sex tourism. Tonight, we follow a trail that begins with an old German man walking hand in hand with a Thai girl who is clearly not yet 18. A scene whispered about in forums, feared by parents and ignored by tourists, yet filmed every night across the country's red light zones. And just a few streets away, if Thailand's sex tourism is on fire, it is Pattaya City that is burning on the stove, the neon capital of Thailand's sex industry. Something burned, literally. You might remember the Walking Street fire, the flames lighting up the dark like a warning, but behind the smoke was something far more dangerous. So tonight, we ask a question many governments refuse to confront. Why are so many older Western men, especially Germans, coming to Thailand not just for beaches, but for girls under 18? And why has no one stopped them? And more, stay with us, because the deeper we go, the darker it becomes. Thousands of older Western men visit Thailand every year. Men who relocate, seasonally or permanently, to Thai resort towns. Most come for beaches, food, sun. Many studies show the most common motives: low living costs, warm climate, a slower pace of life, and often the availability of intimate companionship at prices and in arrangements they no longer find at home. Surveys of Western retirees in Thailand list those motives alongside the hope of a Thai partner, whether casual or long-term. But a disturbing percentage come for something else. Germany ranks consistently among the top Western nations whose citizens are arrested abroad for child sexual exploitation. Not just in Thailand, but across Southeast Asia. Why Thailand in particular? Because here, money changes everything. A retired German pension, worth nearly triple in Pattaya. Single older men, often without family ties at home, who combine lifestyle migration and forms of intimacy that are sometimes commercial and sometimes matrimonial. The boundaries between short-term sex tourism, longer-term companion relationships, and marriage migration can be blurry. Some men come for retirement and end up married to Thai partners. Others rotate visits and social lives around nightlife and entertainment sectors. But a darker and deeply troubling pattern is the presence of underage victims and the exploitation of minors, both local children and children from vulnerable families. Documented cases and NGO reports show that some older men from various countries have engaged in sexual activity with minors in Southeast Asia, sometimes facilitated through local intermediaries or hidden markets. This is not a phenomenon limited to any one nationality. It is transnational, and it is prosecuted by countries that enforce extraterritorial laws against child sexual exploitation. International NGOs and legal entities catalogue cases of nationals from Europe, Australia, North America, and elsewhere. An estimated 800,000 women from rural Thailand have been connected to the commercial sex industry at some point. For many, it was a desperate choice to support parents, children, or farmland. And for many young girls, silence becomes a job. When an industry feeds 12% of the country's income, stopping it becomes extremely difficult. It is not only economics, it is survival. But they do not excuse criminality. Many countries now prosecute child sexual exploitation committed abroad, and organisations work to identify and bring offenders to justice. Pattaya wasn't built by tourists, it was built by soldiers. In 1967, during the Vietnam War, which lasted from 1955 to 1975, the United States stationed tens of thousands of soldiers across Southeast Asia. One of their bases, Sattahip Naval Base, was only 45 kilometres from Pattaya. In 1959, the first wave of American soldiers came to Pattaya for rest and recreation. What they brought with them was money, more money than locals had ever seen, and poverty, as always, made choices simple and heartbreaking. As soldiers paid local women large sums for companionship, word spread across nearby towns. A small personal interaction lit a spark that nobody controlled. Local families saw the opportunity. Bars opened, hotels expanded, women migrated from the countryside, and almost overnight, a fishing village became the world capital of sex tourism. By the 1980s, Pattaya was an international neon jungle. By the 1990s, it drew millions each year. By the 2000s, it became an ecosystem. Bars, brokers, hotels, massage shops, freelance workers, cabarets. What started as a temporary arrangement between soldiers and locals expanded into a structured nightlife economy. The war ended, but the industry did not. Every part of the city breathed tourism. Every corner offered something for a price, even children. Where sex tourists go, let's map it. Pattaya Walking Street, Soi 6, Swa Diamond, Second Road, Beach Road. Each street has a flavour. Each corner has a reputation. In Pattaya, Walking Street is the emblem, a narrow strip of beachfront turned pedestrian zone after dark. It is the showcase, loud, bright, aggressive. Once closed to vehicles in the 1990s, it became an entertainment and red light corridor lined with seafood restaurants, disco clubs, go-go bars, sex shows and tourists everywhere. Official statements have at times declared the street clean of prostitution, but the reality on the ground is that commercial sex activity has long clustered in and around the area. Soi 6 is different, quieter, darker, more transactional. Beach Road, that's where freelancers stand in plain sight. 100 metres of anything you want. Now look at Bangkok. Bangkok hosts several infamous nightlife zones. Pat Pong in Siloam remains one of the oldest. A market by day, a neon-lit entertainment area by night, historically known for its bars and shows. Nana Plaza, a 3-storey complex built entirely for adult entertainment. Soi Cowboy, short, crowded, packed with neon. Down in Phuket, Bangla Road in Patong is the island's counterpart, a crowded nightlife strip that runs through the centre of its tourist zone. On islands like Koh Tao, the nightlife is smaller in scale but still oriented toward tourists, dive culture, cheap drinks and bars where acquaintances may become more than that. A magnet for men searching for something different. This is where Ladyboys shine and where exploitation hides behind glitter. These are the kinds of places where a foreign visitor can walk in and see a world shaped by transactional relationships. Thailand is famous for its transgender community, often called Kathoey. But fame doesn't mean acceptance. Many Kathoey face discrimination from family, from schools, from employers. So where do they go? Tourism hubs, nightlife districts, places where performance becomes both expression and survival. Koh Tao has become a sanctuary of sorts. Tourists flock to cabaret shows. They watch in awe as Kathoey performers dance, lip sync and entertain. But behind the beauty is struggle. Studies show nearly half of transgender sex workers entered nightlife work because no other job would accept them. Some start young, too young. And when foreign men arrive looking for exotic fantasies, the power imbalance becomes a weapon. Not every story here is tragic. Some performers build careers. Some find community. Some find pride. But many suffer silently. Because the world loves to watch them, but rarely protects them. In tourist lore, some places have reputations for Kathoey shows, and transgender venues both celebrated cabaret acts and venues that commodify sexual attraction. No documentary about sex tourism can avoid the most harrowing dimension, the sexual exploitation of children. Thailand has been identified by multiple international agencies as a source, transit and destination country for children trafficked for sexual exploitation.
We are from Human Health Network Foundation, and recently we have been reported with the crime against the
Reports by ECPAT, UNICEF, and others have documented both offline and online sexual exploitation of minors, with patterns that include local trafficking, cross-border exploitation, and the use of tourism as a cover for predatory behaviour. A 2021 to 2022 multi-agency study documented worrying trends in online child sexual exploitation in Thailand, shifting modalities, the use of apps and online platforms to arrange contact, and the way COVID-19 lockdowns accelerated certain forms of online abuse. These reports also show how exploitation can concentrate in tourism hotspots, and how travellers may misuse travel infrastructure to access vulnerable children. Children exploited in tourism are often hidden within legitimate-looking businesses like bars that close early, guest houses, or in private arrangements arranged online. Organisations such as ECPAT and UNICEF, working with Thai authorities and Interpol, have developed programs to disrupt harm online and offline. Hotlines, digital forensics, to identify offenders, community prevention programs, and training for tourism staff to recognise and report abuse. Progress has been made on tougher investigation, victim support services, and international sting operations. There are success stories. Outreach programs in tourist towns have identified and assisted children. Cross-border investigations have led to prosecutions. Tech firms, working with law enforcement, have helped trace online abuse networks. Thailand's ministry agencies and an increasing number of tourism stakeholders now participate in prevention efforts. Hoteliers, booking platforms and airlines can, and sometimes do, act to report suspicious travellers. Yet the supply-demand dynamics and deep inequalities keep the risk alive. The complexity of trafficking networks with criminal groups, corrupt intermediaries and international markets means the solution must be multifaceted: legal, economic, educational and technological. Thailand is many things at once, a nation of astonishing beauty and resilience, and a place where the global inequalities of our age sometimes manifest in the most intimate and damaging ways. Sex tourism is not simply an unfortunate byproduct of travel. It is a complex industry rooted in history, economics, and the human choices of millions. We can document the neon, the stages, the streets, and also the lives hidden behind them. We can show how the Vietnam War and foreign presence helped shape early patterns, how nightlife districts consolidated into tourist icons, how older Western retirees sought new lives, and how trans communities navigate opportunity and discrimination. We can show how children, the most vulnerable, have been exploited, and how courageous organisations and survivors work to heal and rebuild. This is not a story with a tidy ending. It is a call to sober attention, to tourists, governments, corporations and citizens. Look closely at the neon, listen to the stories, and choose always to protect those who cannot protect themselves.